Hi, welcome to today's video. It is a 2000 day world tour. And first of all, I just wanted to say thank you for clicking on this. And yeah, if you watched my first one, I started with the first things I'd done. So this one will be most recent to oldest so that you don't have to rewatch if you don't want to. Alright, so the most recent thing I've been working on is this perimeter, which is 20 chunks by 20 chunks. And I got around 10 by 20 chunks done already. But yeah, the goal is to get this all the way down to bedrock so I can have a place to put farms. This was from the first 1000 days. I'm not sure if it ever got showed though, but it's an all-in-one dye farm. And I'll leave a link to that in the description. And yeah, on to the next thing. Alright, so the next thing I got is a collection system from my sand duper, well, gravity block duper in general, so I got storage for every single uh, item basically that you can dupe, and I have all the shulker box loaders, and this is what it looks like from the outside. So it hits the tin of glass and then breaks down there in the water, and then it makes its way around these shulker loaders. And before I built this, I also defeated the Ender Dragon so I could get all my gateways unlocked. And I have plans for this end island, so I've started to mine some of the obsidian pillars. Like, I get one done one so far, but that'll be so I can redesign the end island. And yeah, let's go to the next thing. Alright, so next thing I got is the collection system for my guardian farm that I built. So I flick this lever, and then when I go to the AFK spawn or overworld, it will give me shulker boxes full of prismarine shards and crystals. And then on the overworld side, I completely drained the ocean monument and then built this farm based off of a tutorial I found and also from one of Iskal 85's videos. And yeah, it gives me more prismarine than I'll ever use. But yeah, this was a grind draining the whole ocean monument. Between this and the perimeter, these are probably my two biggest time consumers. And yeah, let's go to the next thing. Alright, so if you haven't seen the first 1000 day world tour, yeah, I basically built this huge Death Star to start a Star Wars area project, and I've only added one other thing, but it is this Jawa thing. They're like the little desert guys, and yeah, actually done a little bit to the inside. This is where my villager trading hall is. Haven't really done too much because I haven't really needed quartz or anything. But yeah, I got some of my librarians set up and some of my farmers. But I plan on having multiple floors here with every profession. And yeah. Alright, so next thing I got here is my storage system. And it is nowhere near being done, but it's at a usable point, so I've kind of neglected finishing it. So Before up here, I had a multi-item sorter, but that kept breaking on me, so I opted for sorting every single block individually in the game. And it's all chunk loaded, so this all works while I'm away too. So the first major thing I did was I added the Super Smelter Array from Ilmango. And if you build this, two things to note. There is a redstone dot right here, and it does matter what direction you build it in, or the minecart hoppers will not break correctly. Alright, so I got the input for the super smelter, my fuel input, and then it comes out over here. I have also started to work on some map arts, and I want to fill this whole wall up, but this is what I got so far. Got a Punisher, the Mandalorian, Darth Vader, and Doctor Doom. So this is my bulk storage section, and this is where I got majority of my items at. These are all from farms or hand dug too. I don't really have a way to sort non-stackables, so I've been kind of throwing them in this area up here. Except my potions and books are auto-sorted through this back here. And the rest of this is just, yeah, a simple item filter with an extender, that way I can get it to line up properly. And I'm trying to think, but I think that pretty much does it for changes made to the storage system. So yeah, let's go on to the next thing. Alright, so if you watch the original one, this is where things might start to repeat, but I'll go to the two newest things first, that way you don't have to rewatch, then I'll go over all my older stuff. Alright, so second newest thing here is this airship I took from the Realms world that Minecraft released. And basically I built it because if I come up here and if I stand right here, it is actually rendering my ink farm down here, which I had to drain this whole river to get maximum spawns. And yeah, this is where I get my black dye supply from. And the other new thing, besides a few oddball farms, like that's my mangrove one right there, is the bee tower. So this is where I get my honey bottles and honeycomb. This build I'm pretty proud of, because it's the first time I've ever really like added billboards and more detail to the exterior. And this is where all the magic happens. I got 6 farms in there, 4 doing honey bottles and 2 doing honeycomb. And yeah, I built up a little bit of a supply. And then, oh, I actually got these blocks wrong. I'll need to fix it. And now I got my honey over there. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to fix those blocks. Alright, so now I'm going to start going over stuff from the first 1,000 days. So, this is what I like to call Mob Tower, and if you couldn't see it, I built a zombie up there, and on that platform above it is where you AFK. And once I get enough honey, I'll fill in all the windows, because I haven't really done an interior besides the first floor. I haven't really done an interior, I just put the walls in. And then up there is a quad mob farm, which the tutorial actually got taken down, so I will not be linking that in the description. But basically, if you take the one mob farm from Shulkercraft's video and you add 4 of them together on the same clock, that's what you want to do. and it's hooked up to a shulker loader. And then I also have a glow lichen farm right there. Okay, then over here is this warehouse, and I hid the entrance because it's pretty much full on the inside with the farm itself. But yeah, it's just a simple sugarcane farm that uses a flying machine, and yeah, that's where I get all my sugarcane that I'll ever need. And I also have some other farms out here, like my wood farm, my cobblestone, bamboo. So I plan on giving each of these a building and also more buildings, either covering future farms or just to add building in general. And then this was the first super smelter I built from Shulker Craft. But yeah, I had a few issues with it, so I decided to build a new one, and that's why I chose the Ilmenga one at my new storage system. This is where I bred all my bees for the bee tower. That was a Perry statue over there on top of, I don't know, kind of like a podium. Not a huge fan of it. It was one of my first builds. And this was my starter house. And I took everything from the inside of it. But yeah, you can see it was my original storage. And then over here, I got this cherry barn. And on the inside is a sheep farm. But yeah, I also plan on building onto this town too and terraforming. And this is where I want to have my more medieval builds at. And trying to think, I think all I got left is this, which is the very first build I ever made on this world, and it is a dragon head. And if you go inside, it takes you down to a skeleton farm that just uses a mob spawner that I found at the beginning of the world. And it's also where I enchanted all my gear. But yes. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed.